Hey, this is Jim. It is Saturday, November 16th, 2024. Hope everybody's had a good day of watching college football. I decided to take a little break to share something with you. Hopefully you'll share it with other people as well. I really didn't want to get into a lot of detail with what I've been working on behind the scenes over the past multiple years. But lately, through the defamation by both this Sean guy, who is a writer for Motley Fool, and by Doug Sifu, the CEO of Virtu Financial, and now with this John Hempton, this hedge fund manager who says he runs one of the biggest short books in the entire world, coming into my DMs and telling me that he talks shit about me and everything else. It's just kind of gotten to the point where these guys are trying to not only destroy me, destroy my family name, destroy the company, accusing me of all kinds of things. I'll address Shilly Sean's accusation that I'm illegally running a hedge fund at the end of this video. But what I want to show you guys is directly from the horse's mouth, some statements by Devin Nunes. Thanks to Investor Turf for posting this video that I'm gonna make some commentary over.
About this, we have people that are essentially whistleblowers that are coming forward.
Okay, so you guys know that I filed my whistleblower report with the SEC back in October of 2023.
So we're getting people now that are coming out of the woodwork that are beginning to tell us things that I'm like, wow, this looks like something that I should have looked at when I was in Congress.
Okay, so I've worked directly with and spoken on the phone with his team, and I passed off at their request what I think are specific instances, multiple instances in multiple different trading sessions of price manipulation specific to the DJT ticker. He'll also mention some other stocks later in this interview. I also mentioned to his team some of the other tickers I was working on, AMC, GME, and MULN. And I've also worked with individuals on the teams of for working for all of those companies as well. No one working directly with the company or the company's management team in those other tickers. So DJT is the only stock where I've worked with, lawyers that are directly tied to the company itself. I'm going to continue to play this.
It appears like it's been happening for a long time, but it's something that shouldn't happen in this country. I mean, you shouldn't be, if you're on this reg show list, if there's an irregularity, you can understand if something gets a little out of whack for 1 or 2 or 3 days, but then if the system works properly, everything should be cleaned out quickly. But I think the problem is bigger, and maybe they got so greedy at targeting us that maybe, just maybe, we don't know, but maybe we're going to expose something that's going to be bigger than what most of us imagined.
Like I said, I was passing off information specific to other tickers as well. So these guys know what's going on.
And I think there's probably been a lot of companies over the last decade or so or more that have been hurt by these same tactics. And so, look, I'm hopeful that we're going to continue to work with our allies in Congress. We'll build the case. We'll inform the appropriate authorities. As you know, we've already talked to the NASDAQ. Seems to me like the RICO statute applies here. And that leads me to, the other, we're obviously going down the congressional route right now. But don't forget, there are a lot of state attorney generals that should have an interest in this. If, how much damage has been done to capital formation of other smaller companies that have been hit by this naked short selling or counterfeit shares.
Okay, so right there, 2 things. You guys know, if you've ever been in any of these spaces where Pedro and I have been in the spaces together, that he and I consistently talk about, and Pedro in particular, about how this has been going on for so many years and how many small cap stocks have been driven out of business. Now, you can take a guess at why this is done. And, some of it might be just about making money, but some of it's also about basically driving a smaller company into the ground, into bankruptcy, so that you can shake loose the IP specific to, say, biotechs, and drive that into the hands of the kind of big pharma, more monopolistic type firms. Also, the fact that Devin Nunes specifically mentions naked short selling and uses the word counterfeit completely blows holes through Shilly Sean, the guy that is the Motley Fool kind of hit piece writer, who continually lies about me on the X platform and tries to laugh off this idea of anything that would be defined as counterfeit counterfeit shares.
Guess is it's going to be a large number. And look, we just might be the poster child. And if this happened to us, we're going to break it out into the open. We're going to make sure that people know about it, and we're going to continue to expose it. So working with Congress, working with other governmental authorities, and also going to work with the state attorney generals.
Okay, you guys, so that's pretty straightforward and pretty powerful, especially given the fact that these guys, are in the new administration and involved, or at least have the president's ear within the new administration. I think these guys really stepped in it. Just to wrap up, again, I wasn't going to mention that I've been working with these guys behind the scenes, but with the defamation on the X platform that I've had to put up with recently, if you guys are on the X platform, you may or may not have seen that I posted the cease and desist yesterday, directly calling out this Sean AMC scam account on the X platform, as well as the CEO of Virtu Financial, Doug Sifu. And then I mentioned another person who's just sort of a low-level hack who has tried to bring up questions about whether or not I'm illegally running a hedge fund. These guys obviously have not looked at the Securities Act of 1940, and they don't know anything about the rules of running a fund. So complete lies again, and it's defamation. That's why I had to post that cease and desist. If they use the word fraud again, then I'll sue them. It's that straightforward. This guy named John Hempton, who came into my DMs, if you guys haven't seen the other video I posted, he's a hedge fund manager out of Australia. He says that he's running one of the largest short books in the world. So we'll take him at his word. There must be some reason why he's so uptight. The reason these guys have intensified the attack on me, specifically over the past multiple weeks, is because I believe they are backed into the corner here, and they don't know what else to do. But some of the things these guys are saying are so clearly defamation and so clearly reckless that, usually the only way people who are supposed to be smart, especially in the case of Doug Sifu, I mean, he's a lawyer, the reason why people like this usually say stupid things and put themselves in a bad spot is because their brain's not functioning properly. The reason the brain's not functioning properly is because he's probably upside down and in a really bad spot in multiple tickers. The good news for all of those guys on the X platform is that you don't have to deal with a low-level guy like me anymore. Now you get to deal directly with Devin Nunes, his team of lawyers, and everybody else in the Trump administration that, unfortunately, you guys targeted, I guess because you didn't think there was any way that they would be back in power. But karma's a bitch, guys. And like I said, you don't have to deal with a low-level person like me anymore. Congratulations. You guys can exchange blows directly with Nunes and his team. Good luck, everybody.